Good.
Yours is surf kind of,
That's all right.
you're in the pool.
We're in. Yeah, we sold everybody over to the dog out on
I'm kidding.
the jump in.
All right, we'll start the meeting with the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Mayor Burris.
Here.
Yoder.
Here.
Basil. Here. Miles.
Yes.
Johnson. Seaman. Blum. Here. Quorum is present.
You have the agenda in front of you. Is there any additions to the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to add one thing, appointment of a code enforcer appointment.
To new business?
Yes, please.
Any others?
Mayor, I'd like to add to new business, permission to go on vacation in July. July the 11th, I think it is. So we can have that.
Okay, any others? We need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda. Support.
We have a motion to approve the agenda. We have a support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Public comments. Any comments? Okay, then we'll move on to standing items. Minutes for the May 23rd meeting. Is there any corrections? Need a motion to approve the minutes? Move to approve the minutes.
Support.
We have a motion for the minutes and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. We look at the bills. Any questions on the bills for the first half of June? Yes, sir.
It's going to take me a moment to locate it, but I have actually three things that I want to ask about. And while I'm scrolling, I'll be talking. I noticed that there was a purchase for, there it is, 4 tires for the police car. I was wondering what the reason was for buying it from an outfit in Portland.
Joe, you want to go ahead and explain that?
Portland handles all the state bids. We save about $80 a tire. They deliver them. Over here, it's kind of close to them. They're police tires.
That's what I was hoping for.
Like when we did bought the vehicle, Ed Cohen had purchased the state bids.
Okay.
That's right. Most of the places in Portland for the state bid tires.
Thank you.
Any others?
Yes, and since it was not on the city manager report or nowhere else on the agenda, could someone tell me what FSJ Consulting did for us this month?
Yes, Actually, the reason why it's not in the report is he's going to be putting together a report and presenting to the commission at the next meeting. We have been working on narrowing down exactly which grants we want to go after and for which projects, and that will be presented to the commission at the next meeting.
And then there was an item that is found on, while I'm scrolling, I'll talk again. I noticed that the city clerk purchased items from Amazon on a personal credit card. Could you, Elizabeth, explain to us whether or not we have a city credit card? If we do not, and individuals are using personal credit cards, what is the method? Do we keep an invoice of their statements so that we know what was purchased on that credit card? How do we verify what was purchased on the credit card?
Yes, currently the city does not have a credit card at this moment. We did have one, and we were having problems with some of the recurring charges that we were in dispute with, so we decided to get rid of that since it was somewhat continuing being a problem. We're in the process of getting a new one, and we haven't received one yet. We're looking for the best rates. And so we, myself and the clerk, had a conversation with the auditor about, okay, we have some items that we need to purchase. Is there, what can we do? And their recommendation, which we have followed at the city manager's law, which I have, that make the purchase on their card. They bring in the copy of their bill when they get it, and then that's how that serves as an invoice, and that's how we cut the check. And all of the items have been pre-approved by myself as city manager before those items are purchased.
The important thing, of course, is the verification that those were the only things purchased.
Yes,
And that was what I was looking for, is what documentary evidence we would have
yes,
for those particular items.
yes. Yep,
Just
I
wanna
bring a
make sure
copy of
that
it. Yes,
That cash management policy was in place.
yes, I agree with you 100%. And that's why we had the conversation with the auditors that, okay, I wanted to know, is this enough of a paper trail?
Thank you.
Any other questions about the paying the bills? If not, we need a motion to approve. We have a support. We have a motion and support to pay the first half of June's bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carried. DPW report, you have that in front of you. Is there any questions of Jamie? See, one thing you got is lots of grass. Question, we'll go to the city manager's report.
Okay. On June 6th, Commissioner Jane Basin and myself attended the second set of the RRC Best Practices Training in Benton Harbor, provided by MEDC. Spit that out. The best practices covered were number 4, which is recruitment education, number 5, redevelopment ready sites, and number 6, community prosperity. The next step in the process is completing the self-evaluation and submitting it to MEDC. I'm currently working on it, and the plan is to have it completed by the next city commission meeting to present to you guys before submitting it to MEDC. Best practice 4 evaluates how a community conducts recruitment and orientation for newly appointed or elected officials and board members. One thing that myself and Jane were talking about, we were there, is that we did provide commission manuals to the commissioners, and that there are a few things that we feel that we should update in that, and making sure that we have everything. One thing that was left out is the rules and procedures for commissioners. That was one thing that was left out. So we will be making sure that all of that, because communication is absolutely key between elected and appointed officials and staff. Best practice 5.1 assesses how a community identifies, visions, and markets priority redevelopment sites. Property information packages, the city has already started assembling a book. I did that myself. I continued what was going on before when I was community liaison. So I'm having the office assistant update that, and once that is put together, I'll put it in the commission packet for you guys to approve before we put it on the website. Best practice 6.1 assesses what goals and actions a community has identified to assist in strengthening its overall economic health. We'll need to approve an economic development strategy for evaluation criteria 1. 6.2 assesses how a community promotes and markets itself to create community pride and increase investors' confidence. The city will be updating the city's website to meet the requirements to become an RRC community. There is probably 10, 15 different things that we have to change. Jane, would you agree?
I started making a list there.
Okay. In front of you, Jane and I provided books that we were given. It does not have our notes in it, obviously, but it is the books that we received during it. We also received a certificate of completion, as James Van Wyden read now. And I know I personally gained a lot of very useful information to aid in creating reuse space, embrace economic innovation, and proactively plan for the future and making it more attractive for investments. On May 24th, I attended the Michigan Municipal Executives, which is MME, meeting. It was a great opportunity to network with fellow MME members. The purpose of MME is to foster and encourage the professional development of its members in order that they may better serve their communities and to promote, encourage, and preserve high ethical standards. I would like to thank the Commission for providing the opportunity of the membership because it is a great tool to get ideas and knowledge. Stanton Rotary is continuing to raise funds for the disc golf course for the city's Veterans Memorial Park. Also, the Stanton Rotary is the adult beverage sponsor for the Taste of Montcalm on June 24th. This event serves as their large fundraising event and also for the DDA as well. The partnership the DDA and the Rotary has formed is wonderful to the community. I personally like to thank the Stanton Rotary for the partnership with the DDA and the Taste of Montcalm and the city for raising the funds for the disc golf course. They're still continuously doing that. Then on June 7th, Brent Erickson with Deferred Comp came to City Hall and discussed the options with the new staff for their investment in their deferred comp. We provided great information and walked everyone through it. Finally, June 24th is the Taste of Montcalm. The DDA has secured 4 food vendors for the event. Dogtown, Brickyard, Hamamiet, and Clifford Lake are all the food sponsors. If there are any other food vendors that would like to participate in the event, there is still time to register. The DDA will also be holding the first ever hour-long workout session at noon during the Taste of Montcalm. Another addition is a cornhole tournament, and I'm changing this, I'm going to edit that. There is now 17 because we received 2 more. There are 17 marketplace vendors already registered, and I know that there are 3 that called today and said that it's in the mail. So that's exciting. The DDA had their meeting last night, and I'm going to provide the update. They are super excited and want to thank the Commission for giving the money back for the last year's event that they had paid for the wages because they are guaranteed a profit because right now with all of their expenses they are ahead. So the Taste of Montcalm will be very profitable for them. So they want to thank you guys for that. And they have a couple things that they have left to tie up, and that's just securing some more volunteers. So if you guys know anybody, please send them to City Hall. And I just want to thank again the Commission for endorsing the Taste of Montcalm.
What is the 1 hour workout session?
It is PIO. That's what I know.
What is that?
PIO, P-I-Y-O. It's the type of workout that they are doing. One of the DDA members' wife is a Beachbody coach, So she's a trained professional that's gonna get up there and do it. I couldn't tell you what it is other than it's a combination of yoga and body strength training.
Somebody
and-
doing it at,
Yep, they'll be on the stage.
oh, okay.
Yep.
Ahead of time, you're
Is
there.
it something where you have to bring like a workout mat or?
Yes, they're saying, they're recommending that you bring a yoga mat.
So is this being, this is the first I've heard of it, is it gonna be, marketed?
Yes.
Okay.
This was just details. They had decided this and we were kind of ironing out details. And so, what it is, basically, Jean is her name. She's the one that has her business and she's got a bunch of contacts and there's already a group of, I think she told me yesterday, there was at least a group of 20 that will be there that already work out with her and all of that. So she's going to be doing a large shout out on her Facebook page. They're supposed to be sending me some information so I can put it on the city's website to get the information out there about it. But I have not received it, that's why I kind of don't know what Ohio is.
It's a program for taking my comments out so they can get ready for running.
No, this is just.
Yeah, I actually circled that because I thought it was a typo, like they're planning a work session. Work session, workout session? Yeah, I had the same question. I wanted to go back and talk about, one of the biggest things in my mind that, I took away from the training, last Tuesday was, they mentioned when you're getting the community's vision for all these vacant buildings downtown, we have an opportunity for Stanton Old Fashioned Days when we have so many people coming through. If we were to contact the realtors or whoever it is, the business owners that own these vacant buildings and open the doors so that when all these people are walking by, they can just go in and look at what we have. And then the second part of that is they showed some pictures of people putting like sticky notes right on the window and saying, you know, what would you like this to be? But we could also do like an easel out front with like a poster board and say, you know, what would you like to see here? And then for everybody just to kind of, if they have an idea of what they'd like, stick it up. And just, it would be so good to get the public input on what their vision is for our downtown. And so, you know, to put something like that together, I don't know if that would be the DBA or, I would love to see that happen for Old Fashioned Days.
Yeah, I would say after their taste of Montcalm, that would be a great project for the community.
Any other comments on what is here?
Mayor, I just wanted to know, and I noticed in the report it said, hope to see all the commissioners at the festival. Fortunately, the night before, my wife and I will be celebrating our 43rd wedding anniversary. We'll be out of town.
Oh, congratulations.
So I won't be there, but it's not because
Yes.
I
Yep.
don't, I am not against that, taste my cum.
You're not leaving because you won't be home drinking beer later.
That's
Council.
You know where you need to be, don't you?
Yeah,
You learn.
that's right. Well, after 43 years, I ought to.
That was a good choice, I'd say.
Amen to that. Existing business infrastructure update, you want to introduce that?
Mr. Doc, okay. This is Jason Washler from Prina New Hop. Kevin, oh my goodness. Apologize for that. They're with Prina New Hop. They're here to present, as soon as this turns on give an infrastructure update.
I was planning on making this 2 hours long. Elizabeth told me not to, and now the lights are off. I really have to shorten it up before I fall asleep. So, yeah, we just thought that for those that don't know, I've been working as your engineer or one of your engineers for the last 6 or 7 years. big water and sewer project that was done back in 2012, if my memory serves me right. I was a project manager, one of the design engineers on that project. And we've been involved in some other stuff around town as well, including the Public Works building, and some of the studies on your water system. So I thought it was a good time to maybe give a little update. The information from MEDC that's already been discussed is included in my presentation, so half my work's done, so we're down to an hour already. So MEDC Infrastructure Capacity Enhancement Grants. These are grants that are federal money that the priorities change over time. A few years back, they called them DIG grants, Downtown Infrastructure Grants. So if you didn't have a project in the downtown, it wasn't worth applying because that was their priority. And they've gone back, they've used the same name before. They've gone back to this for at least the second time. And it's generally for infrastructure projects, and I'll give you some more details here. So in 2017, I know there was a discussion here at City Commission about, I think it was in February, when grant applications came out. There was some discussion about reapplying because we had applied for doing some work on Livingston Street in 2016, and we were not successful. And we kind of didn't have a lot of time to put that application together, and maybe it showed. Of course, we have no idea what was what other cities turned in for that round of funding. So we thought about reapplying, and as we did more research into the grant application and some of the information we were getting fed from the MEDC staff, it just didn't seem like a good investment of your resources at the time. It felt like we were going to throw it together again, and we were probably not going to get funded, and then we would wonder why. So instead, we decided to take this route and do some research, talk to the MEDC staff, see what to expect for next year, so that we could go into this prepared and have a good application. Does it mean we're going to get funded? It doesn't mean anything. It just means that we're going to be in a better spot than we are this year. And if we apply and we don't get funded, at least we put our best foot forward, and we'll get into some of those details. The priorities this last round were water and wastewater projects.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
Are the documents that MEDC uses for scoring, are those not public records that we could see how they scored other applications?
I don't know about that. We have asked to see the list of communities that were funded and how much they got. I haven't asked for any more detail than that. I don't know if you can FOIA that.
I'm pretty sure that they would use a scoring system of some sort to award these, and if we could see the scores of how they scored a grant application, it might help us.
Yeah, so when I first looked at this back in February, I got kind of excited, and then, and we'll get into some of this detail, but there's points awarded for Main Street communities, redevelopment ready, which is what we just got done talking about. And when I saw that, I was kind of discouraged. Like, well, there's like 30% of the points that we're just out of. And so, like, well, maybe we should do it. And then I saw the list of projects that were funded the year before, and hardly any of them qualified for those points. So then I got excited again, like, hey, maybe we can still do this. Well, this is transpiring over a 5-week period. You have to have a public hearing. You have to advertise for that public hearing, and you have to pass resolutions at City Commission, dedicated funding to match the grants, et cetera, et cetera. In a 5-week period, that's really hard to do. And I was afraid that at that time that it was going to be really difficult to make it look like we didn't throw this thing together. The 6-year capital improvement plan, there's a process you have to go through that's involved, public participation, et cetera, et cetera. The CIP that we put together back with Jake in 2016 was thrown together overnight, didn't follow that process. So that's a prerequisite of applying for grants through this program. And not having that, I don't know if they could see through it or not, but I don't sit there and judge them. So,
Well, just a follow-up question. Is MEDC documents public records? Is there any way of getting those public records?
I would imagine that they are. They're state agencies, so I would imagine that they're.
I just think it would be helpful to find out how they scored.
That's we have some people at the MEDC that we work with, and I'm gonna get to that in just a second. We actually had a meeting with them to try to learn as much as we can about the 2017 funding and what happened, and also what's gonna happen next year. They can't promise it, but we did learn something.
Okay.
And so maybe that's something we can go back to those same people and say, hey, is there a way to get some of the winning proposals or the scoring sheet that we could see how people stacked up so we know how many points we need to get to have a chance?
Exactly.
You know, because really one of our models at Pride New York is that we want to spend as little amount of your money to get to the answer of no. So if the answer is no, I want to spend as little amount as possible. Like if I'm drilling a new well, I want to figure out there's no water there and not spend a lot of money to figure it out.
Exactly.
So there's no water in this well, I don't want to spend a bunch of time and effort going after it.
Thank you.
So yeah, and one of the really confusing things in 2017 was complete plans. Right in the application, it said you must have complete engineering plans for the project. And what community out there with low income, low to moderate income, which are the only big communities that can qualify for this, can afford engineering work before they even have a project?
Yeah.
So you don't have money to build a project and you're paying me to engineer it. It doesn't make any sense. So we challenged that. We went around and around and around, and I don't think they even moved. So we never got a direct answer during the application period. So that was one of the things that we weren't willing. It just was really fuzzy to us. So we never really figured it out. We've had a chance to talk to them. I got some more information there. I guess here in the next slide. But and then public hearing and resolutions, like I said. So we felt like we were climbing a really steep hill and weren't going to be able to get there in time. So we decided it was best to hold off and get prepared for the future ICE funding round. So nothing is for sure, of course, especially with Donald Trump in office. He has threatened to strip out the CDBG program, which is where this money comes from. But I don't think there's a lot of support for that. So we're going to assume that that's not going to happen. And MEDC is thinking the same thing. So that's what they've told us. It's very competitive, however. So we do need to put our best foot forward. We do have about 8 to 10 months to get prepared if, in fact, the next round is next February. There has been fall rounds before, so in 3 months there may be another call for projects. But there were more projects submitted in February than there was money to give out. So it was very competitive. The type of project may change. We don't think it's going to change by much. This past year they were interested in water and wastewater projects. I think there will still be a green component to it. That's just kind of one of the buzz things in our industry right now. If you can put the water in the ground instead of into a pipe to the river, then they'd rather see that. So we'll find some way to work that in if we have to score more points. The Main Street community, we don't expect that to go anywhere. They're basically trying to find communities to invest in that are willing to invest in themselves. So if you're willing to go through the effort to become a Main Street community or redevelopment ready, then they're ready to invest in you. So preliminary plans and estimates are going to be needed, so there's going to be some level of engineering that you have to do. In 2016, we put a line on a drawing to make it look like we had something, but again, we were thrown together last minute. You know, we didn't invest a lot in that application, so I don't think there was, much was lost there. But going into this next round, I think we need to have a good project and we need to have a little bit of engineering done. But we've talked to the MEDC, they understand now that it's impossible to have full drawings. It just doesn't make any sense. And right in their application, they actually gave you a year to finish the drawing, but in the same application, they said they had to have them when we applied. So I'm not really sure they knew what they were talking about. And once again, the 6-year CIP is a prerequisite, so you must have that. I gave a couple of copies. I know you already have a copy of what that takes, but it's an alignment process where there's public participation. So I think that's something that should start now. We're doing some asset management planning, which I'll get to in just a second, that will help develop CIPs. But for the interest of this grant, I don't think we have that luxury. So I think there's enough needs out there. We can probably put together something even without that, and then we'll just refine it. Because that's going to be a living document. Every year you're going to update that. And then of course the RRC is a must. It's 15 or 20 points if I remember right. And it sounds like you guys are right. We're doing the right things to get that. And there likely will be public hearings again required. And this, I think you already have this covered. The RRC engagement, to be fully engaged, they define that as attending all 6 best practice trainings, which I think you've done already. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Complete the self-evaluation, which we just heard will be done by next city commission meeting. And then you have to pass a resolution stating that that your intent is to follow the principles taught in those training sessions. And that goes to your CAT team member, which is a community assistance team member from MEDC. And that's a good person to have in your pocket anyway, so they can help you through some of the ideas that you have with your downtown and other like facade grants and just a whole bunch of different economic drivers. And the great thing about that, if it stays the same, there's no match required. So the grants, if they stay the same, 500,000 is the minimum, 2 million is the maximum, and the match requirement's 10%. If you follow this process, and it sounds like you're almost there, there's no match. So is it worth 50,000 or 200,000 or someplace in between to do what we just talked about? And then, like I said, the 6-year CIP is a lengthy process. I think you should start it now. You know, I've seen councils have work sessions where they just, you know, kind of brainstorm ideas and come up with, you know, where would you spend your money if you had it? That's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for a project that benefits everybody. And if you had the money, what would you do? With infrastructure in mind, because that's where the priorities are right now. So start right now. Any questions about that before I move on? I'm going to move on to asset management planning, kind of the trend across the state right now, and also the work that we're doing for you in that same arena. If there's any questions about any, just answer those right now. All right. Asset management plan, we're talking about your water system, your wastewater system, your storm system. First one's your water system. The reliability study, which is required every 5 years, was completed this last winter and accepted by the DEQ. And you have an asset management plan that's due. All public water systems that have over 1,000 customers are required to have an asset management plan submitted by January of 2018. And we are going to start making significant progress on that this July and August. So we've been kind of lagging a little bit those last couple of months just because of construction season, but we have plenty of time to get that done. And that will also facilitate your CIP process. There should be something relatively soon to have. We have a pretty good idea because we've done the first study on the water system. And then the storm and the wastewater system, this is the SAW grant. I don't know, has everyone heard of the SAW grant that's on the city commission? I know Krista has. So this is a well-funded program through the DEQ from a bond that was passed in 2002. A clean water bond. So this money is supposed to be spent to help improve the quality of water in Michigan. And the programs that they used for about 10 years to get this money out and used just weren't working. The rules were too difficult. The effort, just the barrier of entry was too difficult. So nobody used the money, so it's out there. So there's $500 million still available. And we had, yesterday in our office, we had 8 legislators and 5 executives from DEQ. We were showing them the results because the first round of SAW projects just finished, and we wanted to show off the results of it. Because the whole point of this is to teach the locals to be the local owners of your systems, because all of us are customers and owners of these systems, the water systems or wastewater systems, especially because there's rates associated with them. We're all owners of these systems, and Jamie can only do so much with the system if you fund it or don't fund it.